Within the last hour, one of the nurses credited with saving the life of the Prime Minister after he developed coronavirus has spoken publicly for the first time. Boris Johnson said Jenny McGee from New Zealand stood by his bed for 48 hours. Our correspondent Enda Brady has been following the story today, and there he is. Well, we've been waiting for this, to hear from one of the people, and there will have been many of them, of course, but one of the people responsible for the PM's care.
Morning, Neil. Yes, viewers will remember when the Prime Minister was discharged after a week at St Thomas's Hospital in central London. He praised all of the NHS staff who had looked after him, but he singled out two nurses for particular praise. He mentioned Lewis from Portugal and Jenny from New Zealand, and it very quickly became apparent that Jenny from New Zealand was Jenny McGee, a 35-year-old nurse who has been working in London for a decade. There have been dozens and dozens of requests for interviews over the past couple of weeks. Finally, Jenny McGee has spoken. She has spoken to TVNZ, and this is what she had to say.
My first reaction was that it was a joke. My friends are playing a joke on me. I wasn't expecting it. It was totally out of the blue. And it was just shock. I couldn't believe that what he had said on TV.
When or how did you find out?
I was getting ready for night shift, and I was just doing my usual routine for night shift, and someone texted me just the part that said Jenny from New Zealand, and I was like, wow, I think that's me. Yeah.
And in ICU, when did you realise it was Boris Johnson?
I had a fair idea that I was going to be coming in to look after him, and I think it was very obvious, and the media knew very quickly that he was in intensive care at St Thomas's, so I had a fair idea that I was going to be looking after him. All of our intensive care shifts are really tough for whatever reason. I think there was a lot of media interest about him being in hospital, and to be honest, that's probably was the toughest thing of the lot. As a unit, he was just another patient that we were trying to do our best for, so it was business as usual.
So you weren't even a little bit nervous?
No, I honestly don't think I was. When I got in the car after work each night and I could hear things about Boris Johnson on the news, that was very surreal, because I thought, wow, you know, I've just been looking after him. But I really wasn't fazed by looking after Boris Johnson.
So that's Jenny McGee and her week looking after the Prime Minister, in her own words. So we understand the interview was filmed in London. She remains on shift at St Thomas's Hospital, and she finished the interview with a message for everyone back home in New Zealand to stay home and to wash their hands and save lives. And she pointed out that, you know, New Zealand is thankfully faring better than other countries in Europe right now, but her commitment remains to stay in London and keep working in the National Health Service.
Enda, thank you.